History of the Daleks sets. Let's rank them. Hello and welcome to the Northern Dalek YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a ranking video on the History of the Dalek sets. Now I've got a few ideas for videos and this is one of them. I've been wanting to do a ranking video of these sets for quite some time. Now the 19th set hasn't come out yet. I know I should really wait until the end of the year to do that, but we are moving into the Bronze Dalek era and there's not really going to be much variation. So I kind of want to just do this, and maybe later down the line, when the line eventually catches up with stories, I'll do an updated video. But anyway, we've got 18 different sets here, and yeah, let's jump straight in. So I just want to quickly mention that even if something goes into D, it does not necessarily mean it's a bad set or anything like that. I'm personally just putting my favourites where I want them, and ones that I'm not really a fan of wherever. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. So the first one, History of the Dalek set number 1, which is based on the dead planet, or the Daleks, is a B for me. Both figures are quite nice, don't get me wrong. They look great, but it's the original Daleks. They're a bit plain and basic in the best kind of ways, but putting them with like everything else on this list, I would say they're about a B. They're not bad, they're not the best, they're very inoffensive. Can't even get my words out. History of the Dalek set number 2, which is based on the Dalek invasion of Earth. This for me is a C. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the way the Daleks look in the story. The Supreme's nice, but yeah, they're fine at best. They're nothing too great or amazing. Yeah, it's a fine set. It's not one that I'm crazy about. Let's jump into number 3, which is based on the Chase, and for me, I'd put it in A, simply for the fact that we finally get a re-release of the Guard Dalek with the blue. It's such a great figure to own, and the updated paint apps and stuff, it looks really nice. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head what it came with in this set. I don't think... Right, I can see now. The Flamethrower Daleks in the next one. I do know the midsection on the drone for this 2-pack and the History of the Dalek set number 4, they were white for some reason, and they just look really weird. So the only reason I'm going to put it in A is simply for that Guard Dalek, which I think's such an amazing figure. But the drone in the 2-pack is whatever, so it's kind of like I prefer one figure out the entire set. History of the Daleks set number 4, which is based on the Daleks master plan. For me, I'm going to put it in B. Listen, I love that Supreme, but because it's got the white midsection, it looks a bit weird. And don't get me wrong, the Flamethrower Dalek is nice, but again, it comes down to the midsection. For some weird reason, it's white and it shouldn't be that colour. So yeah, it's going to go into B. As mentioned, I do prefer History of the Dalek set number 3 over number 4. Now, let's have a look into History of the Dalek set number 5, which is based on Power of the Daleks. And I've got to say, I do really like this one. This is an A for me. I know we're still in the 60s and silver Daleks and stuff like that, but you do get the mutant scoop Dalek for the first time ever, and you're getting a drone. Now, don't get me wrong, I can understand why people look at this and kind of think it's a bit of a whatever set, but if you do a little modding for yourself, I know this is kind of cheating, if you do a little modding, as in you remove the gun and the ball joint for the other drone, and then paint the gun box, it looks like a solid 2-pack. But actually thinking about it, I'm going to put it down to B. I'm going to put it down to B. I can't put it any higher. Which one are we up to? So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is number 6, which is based on Evil of the Daleks, and for me this is an S. I love this 2-pack. I love the guard Dalek that's in it. I know the guard Dalek has been released loads previously, but I love it in this set, and I also love the drone with the iris. I love that. Yeah, for me this is my first S tier set that they've released. Speaking of S tiers, History of the Daleks set number 7, which is based on Day of the Daleks. It's an S. It is hands down probably one of the best sets we've had in this entire line. It is amazing. Firstly, it takes a Supreme Dalek that I'm not the biggest fan of and just turns it into something beautiful to look at. Gets a lot of things right in terms of like the neck colour and the ball joint. Yeah, the ball joint for the gun. No, ball joint for the manipulator arm. The original one was gold. This one's silver. And then you get that gorgeous gunmetal grey drone. I ended up picking 2 of these up just to have 2 of the gunmetal grey drones from the story, and they probably are some of my favourite Dalek figures. The drones that were released in this 2-pack, I just think it's an amazing set. Yeah, hands down an S. Such a great set. Number 8 is based on Planet of the Daleks, and I'm putting it into A for the simple fact that I'm not the biggest fan of these Daleks, in a sense of you have the gunmetal grey ones from Day of the Daleks where proportionally they look far better and stuff, but then you get these newer ones from Planet which are essentially the same colour but they have different sized domes, which kind of throws me off a little bit. And there's just little things like the ball joints, I'm not the biggest fan of the colour of them, but they are still really good, and the fact that they have opening top sections where you can reveal the mutant, it's so good. Stupidly, I got rid of mine. For some reason, I think I painted one of them and I got rid of another. I don't know why, because it's like the most expensive set, I think, on this list. I think that and the History of the Daleks set number 7 is, yeah, those two are very hard. So our next one, number 9, it's probably the most overrated History of the Daleks set we've ever had, and that is the one that is based on Planet of the Daleks, but this one comes with the Supreme Dalek and the anti-reflective Dalek. So Dalek a hell of a lot in this video. For me, it's going to C. The Supreme's nice. It's a very nice update to the original, but I couldn't really care about the invisible or transparent Dalek that it comes with. That is such a step down from the original release where it had the black like paint on half of it. I think if it had that, I'd probably put this set a lot higher. But yeah, this set is so overrated. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not one of the best. Next we have, God, how many are we on? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is number 10. This is my first D. For the simple fact that, 1, the gun sticks are still silver. The ball joints are silver, they should be black. The midsection wasn't even painted. And yeah, overall it's a whatever. I do like the Death to the Daleks props and whatnot in the colour scheme, but yeah, I'm not crazy about it personally. Next, we've got the Genesis of the Daleks 2-pack, which is History of the Daleks set number 11. That's going into A for me. I know some people might think it's a bit boring, but I love the updated Genesis of the Daleks figures. I think they look great, like just from the colour, the weathering, and just everything about them. I really like it. And there's two kind of different variants in the set, so that's really nice. Next we have the Destiny of the Daleks set. I can't remember what number we're up to. And that is going into S. Now, for a story I don't like, being Destiny of the Daleks, this set is it's so good. It is so good. I love it so much. It is hands down one of my favourites. Just the way they look. I just think character did such an amazing job with that 2-pack, and there's so many different variants you can make. If you take parts apart and whatnot and mix and match and whatnot. So the next set, based on the 5 Doctors, is going into D for me. It's not really a History of the Daleks set. I mean, it's only got the one. Yeah, the Death Zone Dalek is nice. It's unique and different, but the Richard Herndal figure I couldn't care for in the slightest. So it's a bit of a meh release for me. Yeah, like I say, the Death Zone Dalek, it's a bit of an odd one. It's strange. Next, we've got the set based on Revelation of the Daleks, and that is going into C. The Necros Daleks are not a design I really like, even though I love the Imperials. I know, make it make sense. Yeah, I've just never been a fan of them for some reason. Just the way they talk, the way they look. The figures themselves, they're nice, but they're not anything to write home about. Like, they're fine. So, for me, they're going into C. The next set, which is based on Remembrance of the Daleks, which has the Supreme and the Drone, I'm going to put it into B. I think it's like down the middle, as in like I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this point. I don't really care for the Supreme Dalek, like that colour scheme and whatnot. It's just never one that I've really liked. The Drone is nice, but the colours aren't correct on this one. For me, it's a bit of a boring release. So I'm going to put it into B. It's fine. Next, we've got the... God, which one is this? Isn't this 16 and 17? For some reason, they put 16 and 17 together, and it's going into C. It's fine. The Dalek Sec figure is the only thing I care about in it. The standard bronze drone, which is meant to represent the Metaltron, it's nice, but that Dalek Sec figure is the only thing saving this 2-pack for me from putting it down into D. Yeah, I love the colour scheme for Dalek Sec, and I just think it's an amazing prop, an amazing figure as well to own on the new sculpt. But the bronze Daleks, I'm so over them, so it's going into C. And finally, the newly awaited Resurrection of the Dalek set, which I still do not have yet because they're not out yet. That for me is going into S. This is one that I've been waiting so long for them to get to, because that Supreme Dalek, the black and white Supreme Dalek, is honest to God one of my favourites, like in terms of colour schemes that we saw in the classic series. So to finally own one, that would be amazing. I don't want to fork out 200 plus for one on eBay for the original. And the drone is very nice. I will say I'm not crazy about the black gloss paint they used for the Supreme. I believe the original matte version is the more accurate one out of the two. So yeah, that is my ranking. I mean, you're free to disagree in the comment section below. This is just a video that I've kind of wanted to do for some time now, actually. And yeah, just let me know what you think. Hopefully, I have got everything. I'm pretty sure I have. It says there's 17 photos down there. There's 18 sets. Let me quickly check. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's right. Because 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, cool. Right, so yeah, that's the video, I suppose. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.